Hi. Um, Hi. My current video editing software isn't working, so I thought I'd have a go at this. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to record it and make it available for you guys to watch later on as well. I don't know how many of you are around at the moment. Um, it's been a long time since I have been on here. I just checked back on my old videos and it looks like it's been pretty much about a year since I last posted anything, so I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, I'm also really sorry about this ridiculous day glow hoodie. It's super comfy and warm. My boyfriend bought it for me recently, and I'm feeling really down at the moment. And sometimes you just have one of those days where you need something snuggly, something to kind of hide in. Oh, and the other thing I should mention is this amazing vest jacket that I'm wearing. There's a pocket down here where you put a battery pack in, and there's heating elements down the front, and there's one that goes down the back and one in the back of the collar. And you can basically run a battery pack on it for some hours and keep yourself warm and toasty. So if you're a bit worried about your heating bills, then it's a really nice way to keep yourself warm without having to heat your whole house. Or if you're going out and about, then it's another extra layer you can put on. Even without the batteries and the heating live, working live, it's still really nice. It's quite thick neoprene material. So anyway, since March, a lot has happened and also not happened. I saw one of the nutritionists at the Royal London back in November last year, and we had a good talk about the situation, and he agreed that we need to do something. Basically, they can't leave me chronically underweight like this, and he agreed that the malnourishment and underweightness is probably having a significant domino effect on a lot of my other problems, which I'm sure that it is. And we formulated a plan. And the plan was that we were going to admit me for probably 3 weeks or so. And in that time, do an NJ for probably just a few days, just to make sure that I would tolerate the formula, and then move from that into a PEG-J for long term. And that was November. And then less than a month later, I had another appointment with gastro, which turned out to be an MDT appointment. So there was pain management specialist person there as well. And the pain management person was no help whatsoever. She basically said, well, because of your intestinal motility problems, there's basically nothing we can do for you. If we increase your opioids that you're currently on, then your motility is going to decrease. And of course, that in turn is going to cause pain problems. And we don't want to keep increasing the opiates because you'll develop a tolerance and then you'll just have to keep going up higher and higher and higher, which I understand completely, but is all a very longhand way of saying there's nothing we can do. You're going to be in pain forever, basically, which is not the nicest thing to hear or the easiest thing to deal with. So that was that side of that appointment. The gastro side of that appointment was a complete 180 from what had happened just 3 or 4 weeks previously. They turned around and said that apparently there's been some big important new advice that's come out from somewhere about nutritional support, particularly in patients with EDS or other complications. And they now were probably not going to do the PEG-J. They said they'd discuss it at their next MDT and let me know just after Christmas. And of course, just after Christmas came and went, and I hadn't heard anything, and I hadn't heard anything, and I still hadn't heard anything. So I went to my appointment the week before last, back on I think it was the 6th or 7th of March, and saw Dr. Glynn again, and basically, I spent half the appointment sitting there, saying to him, how do I get my life back? And no one ever really seemed to give me any kind of definitive answer to that question. He told me that he agreed with this new nutritional advice that had come out with regards to particularly to PEG-Js in patients with EDS because of the potential complications that you can get, things like granuloma tissues around the stoma site. And I understand that, and I do understand that with EDS, healing is a much more complicated issue. But surely long-term underweight malnourishment is also quite a significant problem that still needs to be addressed. And I kind of felt like I almost had to beg him in the end for something to be done. He sort of agreed to talk about the possibility of them putting an NJ in at their next MDT and let me know within a week or so. And it's been 2 weeks and I still haven't heard anything as yet. So there's the outbreak, so it's not entirely surprising. But that makes everything even worse now because hospital appointments and clinic appointments are getting cancelled left, right and centre. And what hope I had of any treatment to support this is going rapidly further and further out the window, and in this horrible limbo state in the meantime where, although I'm not technically in an at-risk group because I don't have hypertension and I don't have asthma, I do have a cardiovascular condition which puts me at risk of tachycardia, and I had pneumonia as a child which I nearly died from, which leaves me with bronchitis occasionally, so I suspect that my lungs are probably a little bit on the crappy side. And obviously being underweight significantly and malnourished means that my immune system is probably quite weak and my body is physically quite weak because I've lost so much muscle tone and tissue over the last nearly 3 years. I had a urology appointment that was supposed to be a normal appointment yesterday, which then turned into a phone call. And in spite of my saying to them that catheterizing is still painful sometimes and some weird stuff happens occasionally, they have discharged me back to my GP. So if I need any more help on that front, I'm going to have to go through the referral process all over again and wait goodness knows how long. My biofeedback clinic nurse last Friday said to me, she warned me in advance that things were likely to be going to phone appointments. So it wasn't entirely surprising when the urology appointment got changed. She said she's booked up until June completely, and we tried to book me in for some sessions for June. But she said in all reality, there's a fair chance that if the NHS becomes completely overwhelmed by all of this, that there might not even be clinic appointments at all, let alone by phone, in a few months' time. All of which is pretty scary because it leaves me stuck in no man's land even longer than I already have been, and just as isolated as before, and if not even more so now because people are staying at home more, which means that I will see what few friends I did see, probably even less. Hello, rest of world. Welcome to what it's like to be disabled and stuck at home most of the time already anyway. At least it's only temporary for you. Imagine what it's like for the rest of us who have to be isolated full time. Everything just is really scary, and I'm feeling really overwhelmed by the magnitude of things. and the uncertainty of what's going to happen, and the worry about how sick I might get if I do get this. And I'm feeling more and more alone than ever. So if anyone out there is feeling alone or scared or just wants to talk anyway, please do get in touch. I would love to hear from you. Any questions you've got, if you just want to say hi, if you just want someone to chat to, please drop me a line. I'm here most of the time and will be able to get back to you pretty quickly, almost always. And yeah, let's see if we can grow a little online community maybe, so that we can all support each other from a distance, and hopefully end at least a little bit of the isolation, the extra isolation that some of us might be feeling. I'm going to sign off for now in case I get too weepy. I don't really want to be bawling my eyes out in front of you guys. I hope you are all as healthy as you possibly can and stay that way. And I would love to hear from you. Please like the video. There's all the different ways you can get in touch with me below. Feel free to drop me a line anywhere, and I will try and be back in touch again as soon as I can. Okay? Bye for now.